with Vikings?
Yes.
Oh my god, how sad is season 4, bro?
I'm so sad.
It's fucking crazy too. No, I know, but fuck, man. I'm not gonna lie, I cried when Ragnar died, bro. He is by far my favorite character in the entire TV show. Like, I understand it's based on a real story, real history. He had to die, right? But fuck, man, I love that guy. You know what I mean? Like if I was a Viking and I was alive at his time, I would totally follow him to death, bro. Like Ragnar was the best, man. But his son Ivor, oh my god, that guy is psycho. Psycho, bro. He's so creepy the way he crawls around, and I don't know if you've seen half of the half season 5 because there's only half right now for season 5. It's not finished yet. Same with me. No, I think I've only seen 6 episodes. Here we only have episode up to episode 6. Well, at least with the program that I use to watch it, there's only 6 episodes in season 5. Pardon? No, my PlayStation can't fucking handle that kind of shit, man. The ads drive me nuts. So I'm using this one thing called Movie Box on my iPad. And Movie Box doesn't have any ads or anything like that, you know what I mean? But it's not as updated as these websites online, you know what I mean? It doesn't get updated as fast, you know? So for Vikings, they only have up to episode 6, season 5, right? So I haven't seen episode 7 and 8 yet. But my second favorite is Bjorn. Bjorn Ironside, Ragnar's oldest son from his first wife, Lagertha. He's fucking nuts, bro. Did you see when he fought the Berserker? That was fucking nuts. He kills a bear first, and then he fights the Berserker, and then kills him. I was like, oh my god. Bjorn, you're so fucking nuts. Bro, he killed a bear, man. With a knife. That's it. That's all he did it with, a knife. Bro, real life, if I saw a bear like that in front of me, bro, I think my muscles will just freeze out of fear. I'll be so afraid I don't think even I can move, you know?
Those guys are monsters.
Yeah, Vikings were fucking...
Some of the conditions that they live in is horrendous.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, their homeland is always gloomy, cold. You know what I mean? It's a unforgiving environment they live in.
sharks and lakes.
Yeah, and like frozen lakes and shit. Yeah, like it's nothing. See Bjorn, he just makes a hole and just fucking jumps in the fucking water and goes for a swim. I'm like, bruh, it's like fucking, it's like everything is frozen. Like if I did that, I would die, Amano. Instantly. Like my muscles would seize and I wouldn't be able to swim until like I fucking drown. But also, man, Vikings are like, you know what I mean? Like their entire way of life was fighting. You know what I mean? Do you know that in the original Norway language that the Vikings used to speak, they actually didn't have a word for please? They don't actually have a word for please because Their entire civilization is based on taking what you want. You know what I mean? When you want. But I've learned from like the internet and Google that Norwegians were not the only Vikings. You know what I mean? Like Finland had Vikings, Sweden had Vikings, Denmark had Vikings, Iceland has Vikings. Who else? Netherlands had Vikings. There was a lot of countries that actually had Vikings, bro. They just not all of them were like existing at the same time. You know what I mean? Like when the Norwegian Vikings like Ragnar existed, the only other Vikings around at that time was the Sweden Vikings, which called the Samian. That it was the Samian tribe, and then there was the Denmark. The Denmarkian Vikings. That was the only Vikings that was around. And at that point, the Finland and all the other Vikings have already died. But apparently, there was even like the Icelandic Vikings were even crazier than the Norwegian Vikings, and they were around when the Roman Empire ruled the world, and they were fucking brutal, bro. Brutal. One of their traditions, the Icelandic Vikings, bro, is when a child turns 8 years old, they send him out in the wilderness in the cold with nothing but a spear and a jacket, okay? He has to survive for 30 days and then come back with the skin of a wolf, right? And if he can't come back with the skin of wolf after 30 days alive, they will never accept him in the tribe, no matter who he is, even if he was the earl or the king's son. If you can't survive 30 days and bring back the skin of a wolf, then you're not Vikings to them. That's fucked, man. Would you be able to do that to your son or your daughter, 8 years old or 10 years old? You send them out in the fucking cold to hunt a wolf? I would never do that. Fuck that. I would never do that to my son. That's like, that's like killing my son, pretty much. Like in this day, the day we live in now, that's a death sentence. But yeah, I guess people were much tougher than us back then, Death wasn't like, it was like happened so often that no one even cared, right? Like now, like someone dies is such a big deal. Back then, death wasn't even like something, that's a big deal. Yeah, I can't wait until they complete the season. Fucking season 5 is fucking awesome so far. And that new British guy, the Bishop, the Warrior Bishop, that guy's nuts too. I like that actor because I watched a show for him where he was like an old King Edward. He was like an old English king, It's about the Tudors. It's about the family the royal family that used to be the royal family before the one is now in England. You know what I mean? Like the ones ruling England now, the royal family, they're called the Victorians, right? But the ones before them, they used to call the Tudors, right? And that guy, the bishop from Vikings, he used to be the king in that show. He was like the main famous Tudor. Also that, have you ever heard of the famous Queen Mary? This is where they come from, the term Bloody Mary comes from. That's her father. The show is about her father. It's a really good show too. Like, it's much older than Vikings, but it was really, really good. Have you seen the new Thor movie? Yeah, for a good copy. I don't know why it's taking long. Bro, Justice League, that movie came out. That movie came out after Thor, right? And there's already a DVD copy for it, and Thor is still no DVD copy out. But I was disappointed with the Justice League movie. That was so terrible. So terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. No, not the Thor movie, the Justice League. That was bad, Amano. Like I expected so much more, so much more. Like Superman only does two things in the movie. Punches the bad guy 2 times. That's it. The entire movie he just throws 2 punches. That's stupid. Like the movie is more about the other guys than Superman, you know what I mean? Superman like spend most of the movie dead, you know? Until the last 40 minutes of the movie they bring him back. And then he spends like 30 minutes out of those 40 minutes just being with, Lois Lane. Then he shows up the last second, does 2 punches, saves a couple people, then the movie ends. It's like, no. They better do better next one. The next one, if it's not better, they're gonna fucking lose a lot. The only part though I liked in Justice League, have you seen it, Amano, by the way? My favorite part is when they first wake Superman, right? And he doesn't remember who they are, right? And like he's got in one hand he's got Wonder Woman, in the other hand he's got Aquaman, right? And then Cyborg is holding Superman's waist. They're all three of them like can't even move him, right? And then you see the Flash is trying to run really fast behind him. And as he's running, you see Superman sees him in the corner of his eye and starts like twisting his head. You see the look on Flash? Like that was the funniest shit. He's never seen anybody who can see him run, you know what I mean? It totally freaked him out. It was like the funniest thing, man. I was laughing my ass off. But yeah, man, Superman in the DC universe, he's the greatest, bro. Like, no one can come close to fucking with him other than Darkseid. Darkseid is the only one who can actually... Sorry, Darkseid and Doomsday. They're the only two that can fuck his ass up. Sure. Yeah, let me just close